Hey guys, RanterInShades here, exercise my first amendment rights vlog style, and today I'm going to be making a video for Spizz Trizz, someone I consider to be a good friend on the site. This isn't meant to start any drama or to go against Spizz, but I feel someone needs to make a video to try to help him and give him some constructive criticism. Now Spizz, you are a person I consider to be a very good friend, and I have no intentions on stopping being your friend. And as your friend, I feel I need to take it upon myself to be a little blunt with you, but nice at the same time, because that's the kind of guy I am. First of all, I'm going to reiterate something I'm sure you already know, but Take Shot Action is not gay. There is no chance that he is ever going to be with you. Now, I understand you had no intentions on turning him gay, and that's something that everyone else needs to understand. I doubt gay people really have an agenda of turning a straight person gay. You guys sound no different than the WBC or any other radical Christian on an anti-gay diatribe. But on the topic of TSA, one reason he said what he did in UTF's hangout, which will be linked in the description, is that he felt uncomfortable with the constant jokes about you and him and with the constant flirting. I know from experience that if you are too attached to a person or too clingy with them, they get very uncomfortable. I've had friends in the past that have basically ditched me because they were so fed up with how attached to them I was. These days, I try to give people some space, and that's one thing I think you need to take away from this. If you really cared for and respected Take Shot, then you would have given him some room to breathe. Like I have Muse Productions added on my Facebook, you'd think, given that I'm such a huge fan of his, that I would like and comment on all his posts and bug him non-stop, but I don't. You know why? Because I don't want to come off as too obsessive and fanboyish, because I respect him and respect his personal space. It's also the reason I don't message him as often. I'm pretty much the same way with almost everybody, both online and offline, and this is how I think you should be treating Take Shot, and everybody else really. I get that you care for Take Shot. I like him too. He's one of my best online friends, makes great content, and has impacted my life in far greater of a way than almost every other person I've known on YouTube, aside from maybe Muse, but that's not the point. Because TSA is a person I respect, I try to give him some space and not harass him with PMs, Facebook statuses, or anything of the like. I do the same with pretty much all my other friends, because I don't want to come off as repulsive and make them not want to be my friend anymore. As far as the jokes go, they were kind of funny at first, and as Take Shot himself put it, pretty flattering. But recurring jokes can only be funny for so long before people get tired of them. And that's the way the gay jokes are with Take Shot. He's fed up with it. I'd be fed up too if people made a joke that constantly, like people make jokes about Mr. Repsion being my quote-unquote lover. You think I like that? No, I don't. Those got old very fast, and it's the same thing with the Take Shot and Spizz jokes. I get that you want to play along, but Take Shot isn't playing back. You're pushing it to such a level that it almost sounds obsessive. If it's annoying the other person, cut it out. Now let's talk about that time where you said on Facebook that you wish you weren't gay. One of the many things I like about you is your sense of pride and the fact that when you make a video on the subject of homosexuality, feminism, gay rights, etc., you were able to bring something new to the table. You had a very positive attitude, and that is something your fans really like about you. Why on earth would you ever wish that that could be taken away from you? Do you really think people have a problem with you being gay? Newsflash, they don't. No one in the ranting community has said anything against gay people and gay rights. In fact, many people have made videos supporting them. None of us are fundamentalist Christians, so therefore nobody has a problem with you being gay. The only problem some people do have is the fact that you flaunt that fact in everybody's faces. I don't have a problem with your content, Spizz, but I'm going to bring up some grievances people seem to have with your content. What I usually hear from people is that you use too many jump cuts, come off as forced, and try too hard to be funny. None of these issues people have with your content have anything to do with your sexual preferences. The point I'm trying to make is that you being gay is irrelevant to almost every single problem people have with you. Another problem people have with you is that you post constantly on Facebook about your problems and feelings on things. I've said before in an old video of mine about Facebook that Facebook is not a diary. If you post something emotional on Facebook or something to rile people up, people are going to comment whatever problems they have with that. I would know, because back in my fuck the world phase when I was 16, I did just that, and I got a lot of people pissed off at me, almost to the point where they wanted to fight me. The comment section is there for a reason. You do know that, right? In the words of the amazing atheist, You put your ass out in public, you better expect a fucking spanking. The posts that typically piss people off are the posts you make victimizing yourself. You post on Facebook constantly about how Apparently nobody likes you. I've told you many times that that is 100% not true. So have many of your fans and friends. Then almost days or even hours later, the cycle repeats and you're bitching and moaning on Facebook yet again. This happens almost every day when I log on to Facebook, and it really annoys a lot of people. This is the reason some people don't like you. You're basically exemplifying the stereotypical emo girl, begging for attention from people and asking for people to contradict your "nobody likes me" statements. But when they do, you ignore them and move back to square one. People don't like people who constantly make themselves out to be victims. You claim it's them who are the problem and not you. If this is indeed the case, then my advice to you would be to do what I do in situations like these and turn a blind eye. People who fuck up on social media typically learn from their mistakes and try to correct themselves. This is something I know you want to work on and something that I've been trying to help you work on. But if you find yourself in too deep, take a step back. Don't keep gravitating towards the problem. Maybe take a break from Facebook or even the internet in general. I'm not saying stop completely. But whenever I felt shitty during the time I've been on YouTube, I've taken a break, and I've always felt so much better afterwards. Another piece of advice I have for you is to cut back on the Facebook posts in general. Back in high school, I used to be that guy who would post non-stop on any given day, but when my friends sat me down and helped me get my head out of my ass, I posted considerably less frequently than I used to. This is something I think you should do if you really want to improve your online life. Also, whenever you are posting on Facebook or talking to someone in a Google Hangout, lay off the alcohol. The booze has been proven to get you into more trouble than you want. Alcohol often leads to brain damage and messes with your reasoning. Alcohol is actually classified as a depressant, so for a person who claims to have depression, alcohol really isn't a good choice for you, Spizz. It's like on South Park when Towley gets high to come up with ideas, but those ideas put him in deep shit. My last piece of advice I have for you is to think before you speak. Being sober does help with this. Cult of Clusterfuck said in his video, The Fuckwits Who Trivialize Depression, that people who trivialize depression will often try to make their problems seem so much worse than everybody else's. You said in a hangout, "Today I'm gonna have a mental breakdown," or some variation of those words, in front of people who suffer from illnesses such as depression. You're playing into a stereotype used by people who really don't know anything about depression and wonder why people with depression get so offended by that. So think before you try to come off as edgy or controversial. Also, don't try to diagnose yourself with anything. That's just douchey and nobody likes that. Again, Spizz, you are a person I consider a friend and I have no intentions on stopping being your friend. But one thing I think a good friend does is step in and try to help correct the person's flaws. That's what my friends have done for me back then and what my friends continue to do for me to this day. I'm not going to sit by and just tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to be blunt with you. But like I said at the beginning of this, as nice as I can. Now to take shot action. Dude, I love you and think you're an awesome friend, but I do think that maybe you should try again with talking to Spizz so that hopefully some good can come out of this and things can go back to the way they once were. Spizz has shown me that he is remorseful of the way he's been treating you and that he is willing to change. So do you think there's a possibility you could give Spizz another chance? I don't like seeing my friends fight, so I've been doing some encouraging on both ends to try to get people to talk it out. If you don't want to talk to him, that's fine. I'm just making a suggestion as someone who considers both of you to be very good friends. The same obviously goes for any of my other friends that have been having problems with Spizz. Again, this wasn't me trying to pwn Spizz or go against him. This wasn't me trying to hurt his reputation either, nor was this me backstabbing him. This was just to give him some constructive criticism as well as some advice, so that maybe he can actually work towards bettering himself. If you want to check out his channel, I will link it in the description. I think he makes pretty entertaining videos, so if you want to check him out, by all means do so. I will say that I don't want you guys going to his videos to troll him or give him a hard time. I do not condone that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, take care, and have a nice day. I'm Shades, and I'll see you next time.